back to Two Doctors Homestead. My name's Daniel, and this is Prepper Pantry Pick of the Week. Another exciting episode. And every week we take you shopping with us. We pick out an item from the store, and we tell you about where it fits into your pantry, your long-term food storage pantry. We look at nutritional information, shelf life, cost for calories, those kind of things. So this week we looked at maple and brown sugar. We were down at Aldi's, which is one of the stores we like to go to. There's a lot of cool stuff at Aldi's. I know some people love it, some people hate it, but we are Aldi's fans, and we got some more Aldi's videos that we're working on coming your way. Should be a lot of fun. But if you've never been to Aldi's, check it out. They got a lot of cool stuff there. So as part of the Prepper Pantry series, we try to talk about the food storage pantry, long-term food storage pantry, building up your pantry. We're not trying to encourage people to hoard food. We're not saying just buy a bunch of food and hoard it and never eat it. We are trying to encourage people to build out their pantry a little bit, think about what they have in their pantry in the event of any kind of shortages, anything like that. You know, you'll have a little food in reserve, and I think generally that's a good idea, and even our trusty government seems to agree you should have food in reserve. But one of the things we look at is, in looking at a box, this case maple and brown sugar oatmeal, if this was all you had, or if this is one of the items on your shelf, how much food is that? And I think that's important to get an understanding of, is exactly how much food do you have put away? How much food do you have in your pantry? If this is all you had to live on, how are you doing? What if you had 5 boxes, 10 boxes? What if you were trying to build out your pantry a little bit and you had some goals saying, hey, I want an extra week, extra month, extra year's worth of food? If you want to have a little food put away, it's important to understand the math. And I know the math is pretty straightforward, but we try to talk through it. So we pick out an item every week and just talk about it. And this week we're talking about one of my childhood favorites, which is instant oatmeal, maple and brown sugar. That was always one of my favorite flavors, and they do call it heart healthy. It's a whole grain. It's whole grain oats. It's not wheat in that sense. It's oats. And I know if you're doing something like keto, carnivore, any of those kind of newer diets, you probably stay away from this because it is a lot of carbs. This one also has a lot of sugar. You can get just the plain oatmeal and you don't quite get as much of the sugar, but it used to be considered heart healthy, used to be healthy. Maybe it still is, but it sort of depends now, right, on what your nutritional profile is. So usually when we're looking at products, we'll use two numbers: 1,500 calories, which is considered above the starvation level, and we'll talk about 2,000 calories, which is the recommended daily. That's the average daily, and that's what they base the nutritional information on. So enough of that aside, talking about instant oatmeal. So this was $1.75 for the box of instant oatmeal. Once again, we got it at Aldi's. We took you shopping with us. You got to see us walk around Aldi's. That's always a lot of fun. So this has 10 servings per container at 170 calories per serving for $1.75. So this box is 1,700 calories. So if you're trying to stay above 1,500 calories, this will get you there. This box will get you there for $1.75. Not a bad deal. You may need more or less depending on your health, your metabolism, things like that. But if you're looking at just what's a minimal 1 day worth of food, this box will get you there. 170 calories. 1,700 calories will get you there. It'll keep you above the starvation level. If you ate the entire box, which is 10 packets, you get 20 grams of fat, which is considered 30% of the daily. So in that sense, I would call it low fat, right? Even though we're only counting up to 1,700 calories, that's still pretty good. Only 30% of the daily. So total sodium, 2,600 milligrams, which is 110% of the daily, at only 1,700 calories. So it is higher than normal, maybe higher than 100% in salt. It's got a little bit of extra salt in it. it's not low salt. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It's not as bad as some things like canned goods, generally loaded with salt. It's not as bad as that. I would not call it low salt. Total carbohydrates, 330 grams if you ate the whole box, 120% of the daily. It's mostly carbs, right? The last one here that we're hitting on is protein. So this would be 40 grams of protein. This also doesn't give a recommended percentage of protein, which is super weird. Some things do, some things don't. It seems like most things don't, but we find 50 to 200. So this is 40. So it's a little low on protein, but it's something. It'll get you there. And it has things like iron, potassium, thiamine, and phosphorus in it. So all those great minerals, some vitamins and minerals that you need to keep your body going. So a lot of great vitamins and minerals. So again, we do say heart healthy, good source of fiber, lots of fiber in there. In terms of shelf life, so this is where it gets interesting. So it's got a 1-year shelf life on the box. So if you just take it, put it on the shelf, you're probably good for a year, right? Cool, dry place, of course, anything like that. Looking around online, this is rolled oats. It says whole grain rolled oats. You see websites saying 18 months. You see websites saying 24 months. Some say you can go a year after the shelf life. So that puts you in the 2-year range. Now, in terms of long-term food storage, if you want to just store this for as long as possible, there's websites saying you can get 30 years on the rolled oats if stored properly, meaning Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, cool, dry place, that kind of thing. So if you just want to stretch it out as long as possible, you don't have to worry about your oatmeal expiring, getting bugs in it, throw it in the Mylar bag, put the oxygen absorbers in there, and you're pushing 30 years on that, which is pretty good. That's a long time. That's a long shelf life. Hopefully you're going to eat it within 30 years. So for long-term food storage, I would say absolutely. You can stretch it quite a bit in terms of cost. $1.75 get you pretty close to your 2,000 calories a day, so that's not a bad deal either. For easy preparation, it's funny, I used to do this all the time as a kid and also camping. It's easy to take camping. In terms of preparation, it says with hot water, empty packets in the bowl, right? You can microwave it, you can heat it up. I used to just eat it right out of the bag, and you can do that, right? So you got my bag of the oatmeal, you got the oats, you got that chunk of brown sugar. No, chewy. You can just eat it right out of the bag, actually. I've done that many times. So especially if you're camping or something like that, it's an easy breakfast. Now, in terms of shelf life, the numbers I'm giving you are 30 years. Consider just the rolled oats. So this is maple and brown sugar, and it says it has sugar, less than 2% salt, natural flavor, caramel color. I can't speak to the shelf life of the natural flavor, caramel color. When you talk about things like sugar and salt, those are actually preservatives. If you are going for maximum shelf life and doing the Mylar bag, I would probably go with the plain, but something like sugar is going to last maybe even longer than this, so that's not going to affect your shelf life too much. So instant oatmeal, I mean, it works in terms of long-term food storage. It's easy. You can just eat it out of the packet if you're camping or something like that in a hurry. That used to be my favorite way to eat it, a little chewy. So as always, hopes that helps out. And once again, thank you. Thank you for the new subscribers. We appreciate the comments. It's a lot of fun to interact with you guys. So appreciate that. Appreciate you for watching.